starring Steven Segal, entitled The Evangelizer. This scene takes place outside of the Slain by the Word Baptist Church. The frame captures Slain by the Word Baptist Church's white frame building and a faded letterboard sign in the early Sunday gleam. Shot from the front right tire of the church's muddied Ford Econoline passenger vehicle. The setting is marked in the lower left corner. Appalachian Holler, Sunday morning, 7:15 a.m. A character enters the frame from the right. It's a pair of legs in carpenter-style dungarees, met by a well-worn, once black pair of Doc Martens tennis shoes. The unseen driver's door opens, closes. The van starts roughly, backs up, rolls. Cue credits. The van proceeds through various native terrain, the frame maintaining its obscured position. Gravel, highway, dirt, hill, up, up, up. A final turn precedes a short stop in a dusty driveway on a high ridge. The engine dies, the unseen driver's door opens, closes. As the familiar footsteps are met by their familiar legs, the camera pans up. Back pocket Bible, leather jacket, black ponytail, and a PVC pipe. It's a long piece with a T-joint so it resembles a cross. Finally, the camera tracks to the protagonist's face. The Reverend Steven Segal. Evangelizer. Cut. The scene takes place on Wolf Laurel Ridge. Reverend Steven Segal strolls across a mostly empty parking lot. The frame captures the ski resort sign and the sun's first rays over Big Bald Mountain and its friends. The camera sweeps around the protagonist to reveal a small gathering of would-be skiers, clad in North Face gear and sipping Starbucks. Reverend Segal's steely gaze belies his wrath-tinged mission.
Nice.
Reverend, these people should be in church. He intercepts a small group, approximately 30 or so, headed for the lifts. The Reverend, you should all be in church. Their ringleader, a long-haired urbanite, probably named Kurt or something, steps forward. Probably Kurt. Excuse me? The Reverend. You heard me, hippie. I'm the preacher around these parts, and I'm here to take you to church. Probably Kurt. Well, that's nice and all, but we're a pretty diverse group just here for some weekend skiing and the scenery. Define diverse. You see that guy? He points and the camera pans to the crowd. He's not really into church. He says he's agnostic. His friend there is a way-lapsed Catholic. We got a couple of New Agers with us from Asheville. And Princess Moonbeam Nightlight there is a local Wiccan evangelist. Another voice breaks in. The guy in the crowd. Actually, I went to an early service this morning. Reverend Segal strikes his cross pipe on the ground. Look, hippie, I asked you to divine diverse. I don't know what it means. Seriously? Seriously. The gospel is seriously. Jesus seriously died so we could go to church, and we're going to have church. Get in the van. What? Get in the van. No? Pause. You don't seem to understand. I'm not just a preacher. I'm a missionary. Butt saving is my business, and business is about to be good. Now you can either get in the van, or I can put you in the van. Wow. Okay, you're really quite strange. Even if we all wanted to go with you, we couldn't. There are like 30 of us here, and all you got is a 15-passenger van. That and your greasy ponytail really weirds us all out. Is that a challenge? What, the ponytail? The van. Oh, right. No? No what? No, sir? Try no reverend. Probably Kurt's mouth falls open, but before he can speak, Reverend Steven Segal strikes with a cross pipe to the skull. Kurt goes down with a crack. Carnage ensues. No one really fights the Reverend, but that doesn't seem to matter to him. The Reverend sweeps the legs of 2 guys with his pipe, then catches a third on the shoulder, bringing him down. One fleer tries to streak past, but the Reverend clotheslines him. A line of bystanders, too stunned to move, are his next target. In what can only be described as a martial arts miracle, the Reverend kicks one guy's leg into another guy's leg, into another guy's leg, into another guy's leg, into another guy's crotch. One skier lashes out with a jabbing ski pole, but the Reverend catches it, turns, and flings his assailant into the chasm below. Another skier takes a broad swipe at the Reverend's head with a ski, but the Reverend deftly deflects it using just his ponytail and sheer will. A jab to the sternum puts him down. By this time, the crowd has realized that Reverend Steven Segal was especially driven. It's a long-range battle now, with the Reverend's mission field running for their mountaintop cabins, their SUVs, the ski lift, really anything that might evacuate them from the path of the holy man's vengeance. The Reverend takes in the scene, and the camera's close-up of him catches his darting and flitting eyes. Having assembled his plan, he moves to further action. First, the ski lift. 2 targets have successfully boarded and are on their way up the mountain. Reverend Segal picks up a discarded ski pole, hurls it like a javelin, and snaps the most critical support wire for their carriage. They fall at least 30 feet and land in a snowy heap. Second, the cabin-bound sprinters. In their haste, the fleers left 6 or 7 mostly full stainless steel Starbucks mugs near the Reverend. He gathers them, takes aim, and begins his bombardment. Though easily 50 yards away, the Reverend pegs 4 of them. One catches a runner in the middle of the back, sending him sprawling into the fender of a parked Mercedes SUV. As its alarm begins to blare, its owner reflexively turns toward it, only to be met by a macchiato grenade to the chest. Another coffee mug bomb explodes at the feet of an escapee, resulting in an unexpectedly slick terrain. The target slips and plummets down the mountainside. The 4th stainless steel mug connects with the final target's skull with an ungodly bing! He's down. Finally, the motorist. 6 fleers arrive safely at a Land Rover and pile in. They speed away, tires spinning and screeching and smoking. The Reverend. It's time to put your soul into 4-wheel drive. The Reverend takes up his trusty cross pipe, holds it high as if asking for the Lord's blessing, and hurls it like a spear toward his target. As usual, his aim is perfect. The pipe is driven through the front driver's side wheel, jamming it and the axle. Instantly, the Land Rover does a front flip, then tumbles down the mountain. The impact is more than the landscape can bear, and the rashly developed millionaire cabins lining the steep grade are shaken loose. As they tumble one by one into battle, half-dressed vacationers leap from the doors and windows of their rapidly descending dream homes. Other occupants... I'm all choked up. Other occupants occupants are unscathed, but exposed in their new open-air basement. 3 men dressed like resort employees dash onto the scene. Employee. Oh God, you have to stop! The Reverend. You can't stop the work of God in this world. And if you think you can, then you just haven't got the Lord in you. He retrieves his cross pipe, which must have rebounded back to him somehow miraculously, and begins praying. In the name of the Father, the pipe whistles as it is swung. There is an audible crack as it strikes the first employee. And of the Son, crack! The second goes down. And of the Holy Spirit, crack! The third falls. And all God's people say, his words trail off as the camera flies out and surveys the damage. Turns out that none of God's people are still standing. Bodies are strewn about. Cabin foundations lay cracked and empty. Fires burn in the hellish chasm below. Blood and coffee intermingle on the pavement. Reverend Steven Segal takes a deep breath, looks skyward, and moves toward a downed victim. Fade to black. The scene takes place by the Slain by the Word Baptist Church's van. A van door closes and the engine roars to life. The cut begins with the camera resuming its opening scene angle on the Slain by the Word Baptist Church's van tire. This time a series of cuts through the dirt and gravel, twists and turns all the way down the mountain, follows the van. The journey ends where it began, outside Slain by the Word Baptist Church, its sign visible in the frame, and the van door opens. Fade to inside Slain by the Word Baptist Church's Spartan sanctuary. The camera begins by facing an empty pulpit, then moves to an extreme close-up of Reverend Steven Segal's dusty leather jacket. The camera follows him as he enters the pulpit, focusing on his left hand as it retrieves his pocket-sized Bible from a back pocket, then moves to his right hand as he secures his cross-shaped PVC pipe in its stage stand beside the pulpit. The frame moves to a top shot, catching the preacher's hands from above as he opens the word. Finally, our journey ends. The camera frames the Reverend's righteous ponytail to the left, his bandaged and unconscious congregation in the background to the right. Cut to black. The Evangelist.